Okay, let me start my question by asking you this. I know we're having a conversation off air before coming into the conversation, and I want you to also just bring all of this to the fore so that the Nigerians will know and those in authority will also have an idea of what you guys are facing. Now, I'm speaking right now on behalf of concerned Nigerians. Can you tell us why your association is considering an increment in the price of our darling staple bread at this crucial time when the price of food commodities is skyrocketing, rising beyond the reach of the poor masses?
Good morning, viewers, once more, and good morning, Nigerians. It's a very tough one for us as businesses. We are facing a dire strait. We are almost going extinct as an industry. You know, I feel for Nigerians because expendable income is almost 100% eroded. People are poorer today. And on top of that is the escalating cost of doing business. And, you know, if care is not taken, this might exacerbate the current insecurity we are facing in the country because more people will be thrown out of job. And once people are thrown out of job, they don't have a means of livelihood. They don't know where the next meal is going to come from. What do they resort to is, next thing is to resort to criminality. So the more people are out of job, the more the impact of insecurity in our society. And that is not what we want. What we want is a secured Nigeria, a Nigeria where the poor man can be able to afford the basics of life, a Nigeria where the poor man can be able to say, okay, I can buy a bread that I used to buy at maybe 200 naira. You know, in the next 1 year, I should be able to buy it at that amount. I'm not looking at his back every day, thinking of increases in the price of bread, not only bread, but all other essential commodities in the market. 4 seeds of tomato today is about 2,000 naira. Onion you cannot get. A tuber of yam is going for 4,000 naira. So how will the poor Nigerians survive? You know, these are things that we should be interrogating in the country today because it is very, very tough. Then for us as businesses, we are running at bare bottom. You know, we're just managing to survive as businesses. We are not running at profitable levels. What we try to do is just to remain there, ensure you are sustainable, ensure you are able to pay your workers their salaries, and then every other thing is just what it is. Tough.
Okay, I can understand your plight and I can sense from your voice how concerned you are about the poor masses. But then again, I need to say this. I'm a family man and my wife and I, we don't have kids yet, but my wife and I consume 2 loaves of bread on a weekly basis. And that's based on the other options of food items that we have to eat in the house. Now, can you tell us to what amount are you guys intending increasing the price of bread to? What is the present cost right now, and what are you intending increasing the price to?
You know, once your cost is not commensurate to your revenue, once there's a disproportionate balance, your cost is more than your revenue, then you are already at a loss. Most of us are running at that loss now because our revenue can no longer be able to buy materials for us. We're always getting money from outside to do directors' contribution into the business. And any business that is run that way, it's never ever sustainable. And that's why you see bakeries are closing by the day in Nigeria. My members are losing their businesses. Businesses that have spent multi-million naira to invest in are going buncoms because there is no support from anywhere. Nobody is supporting small businesses. In other times, when businesses are suffering, we get loans and grants from the government, you know, in form of maybe recapitalization and all that. But our own recapitalization is what we do by ourselves, and it's never a good one. You know, the driver of any economy globally is supposed to be small businesses minus small, medium-scale enterprises. You know, the big boys and the bigger industries don't do that. It's a minor that employ 30 people here, 20 here, 30. Then before you know it, they are doing 1 million people of employment. So we are in the dire straits. Now, coming to bread, you just ask how much are we going to increase by? It depends on the quantum of our costing. If our costing, say, you have to look at your template, look at it. What is it telling you? As I'm talking with you now, 2 days ago, they increased the price of wheat flour by about 2,000 naira. We are hearing they are going to increase further. In the last 2 months, they've increased the price of sugar, Dangote sugar, raw sugar, and golden sugar. They increased. They were buying at 29,000 naira, 29,500. Today is about 39,000, 40,000 naira. Depends on where you are sourcing from, and the impact of the 7.5% VAT on diesel is going to further increase the price of diesel, which we are buying currently in some parts, especially in parts of Lagos, for about maybe 650 thereabout. Then if you go to other parts of the country, like in the east, you are getting for 700 and something. Going to the north, it's maybe 720 or thereabout. So for us here, we are just fortunate that it is what it is here. But now you increase that cost into your cost template, and you look at it. Softener has increased, ascorbic acid has increased, even egg has increased. So what do? You look at it, and the ramification of everything you're costing. He just goes to tell you that, look, if you don't do a minor adjustment, not even price increase, if you do a price increase, people can no longer buy bread. You just do an adjustment to be able to meet the basics of your cost template. You just do a marginal increase, maybe 50 naira here, 100 naira there, depending on the variants. We have different kinds of variants. That's SKUs. We have different kinds of variants, from the 200 naira, 300, 400 to 1,200, which is the most of our own bread, because as Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria, we have a cap in our bread. So look at it. If that one that we are selling for 1,200 naira goes to 1,500 to 2,000 naira, can people afford it? No. You have to marry affordability and what you price your product at, or else you are out of business. And that's why most of my members are closing shop, which is not good for the economy.
Yes, very true. It's really not good for the economy, because if we have more businesses closing down, it's going to increase the current rate of unemployment in the country. There is a latest development in the country. The president signed 4 executive orders to eliminate multiple taxation and make the operating environment less volatile for businesses. And I want to ask you, is your sector actually benefiting from this development? And when it comes to Lagos, does this also play a significant role to the multiple taxation that you guys are faced with?
Well, for the executive order that the president graciously signed, that was signed by the past administration, that I think he signed to ameliorate the ease of doing business for businesses. I think we are not impacted by that. He signed 4 executive orders. We are not impacted by that, but it's a good one for those businesses that are impacted, because any government without a human face is not worth its or her onion. The last administration was very, very inhumane in some of the things they were doing. They were wrongly advised maybe by the finance ministers or the economy team. I didn't even know whether the economy team worked in that administration. So that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has deemed it wise and necessary to sign those executive orders to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians. I think it's a very commendable one, and I hope that it will help in some ways in ameliorating the suffering that producers and manufacturers are going through in Nigeria. Then coming to the issue of multiple taxation, it's a very, very big problem for our industry, especially here in Lagos and some of the states in Nigeria. Lagos is a mixed bag of problem, urchins on the road, agbero everywhere. As soon as you come out to say, okay, I want to do supply, in all the local government will tell you that, look, you are going to buy tickets, sometimes maybe 500 naira, 1,000 naira a day. If you are living from Surulere, maybe you are going to supply at Badagry. If you get to my tree, you will buy. If you get to Kuku, you will buy. If you don't buy, they will attack you. They will destroy. They will name our members, our staffs. It led to this got to a head. Sometime November 16, 2021, we picketed the State Assembly, because when we wrote Mr. Governor, nobody was forthcoming on it. The letter did not get away with complaint, and then they set up a tripartite meeting between ourselves, the state government, and some of the agencies. We met, but even at that, it's still a problem. The local governments are not helping matters. We signed off an agreement with that. They are not going. We met. We had an agreement that they're not going to be harassing us, but it's still the order of the day. Conference 57, the secretary was in that meeting. They will come, Ministry of Health will come, multi-agency taxation, local government will come, fumigation will come. It's just federal government is regulating you, local government is regulating you, subnationals are regulating you. How can businesses, how can small businesses survive? under this kind of climate. So this local state government should look at it. When you complain, they say they don't know the people that are doing it. There's one stupid one they even introduced, they call it mid-year. What is mid-year? After we bought our local government papers for the years, supposed to last a year. At the middle of the year, some criminals will come to the road, go and print another one, and be terrorizing people. Nobody calls them to order. When we were meeting with them, we told them that's what we call state carriage. They said that the Commissioner for Education then, Joseph Oladiyan, they told us that there's nothing like that. But these things are still there. Nobody calls anybody to order. TIO is just, they're very punitive. They don't want to help you. They just chase vehicles down. All they're after is they send you don't get to you. Next you are seeing it on your phone. They will not even tell you go and repair, go and do. Go and pay 30,000 or 50,000. Last time we see you on the road, instead of helping, nobody is trying to help anybody. It's just a mixed bag of frustration. Affecting manufacturers' health. And all this whole thing comes to a head at the end of the day. What do? You factor this whole thing into your into your cost. And if it doesn't match your revenue, what happens? You must adjust your price to be able to remain in business.
Wow. So with all of these challenges that are being put in place, what strategies are your member putting in place to sustain their profit margin and stay in business while also providing quality bread production?
Well, for us as an association, part of our objective and constitutional framework make this: you must use wholesome materials. You mustn't use unwholesome materials. As Premium Bread Makers Association, we do a lot of peer reviews amongst ourselves. We go into our members' bakery to check what they are doing. We bust in there to check whether they are using the right set of material. So we advise them: look at your processes, optimize your processes, look at your diesel usage, look at your work schedule. If you need to do if you don't need to do a 2 shift, don't do it. Do 1 shift and survive. Look at your processes. Ensure that your burners are effective. Ensure that you optimize equitably. Then look at your weight. If you are overweighting your bread, cut to the proportionate level so that you can remain in business. Because if you don't do a right optimization of your equipment usage, of your diesel usage, of your looking at your materials very well and ensuring that your equipment are efficient, that can weigh the bread at the right weight, the dough at the right weight. When you produce, you get your net at a very good weighting, then you are in problem. So these are things we do as an association to talk to ourselves, encourage ourselves. Let us just do what we need to do to remain in business without compromising on our quality, because it is very essential. What we do is we believe in safety of our products. It's a key part of our association. We don't play with it. Every material we use must be wholesome. Every material we use must be something that will not adversely affect the health of our consumers. So we are very mindful of that and ensure that our members play within the rule and by the extant regulation as set out by NAFDAC.
All right, we need to wrap up now. But before we go, we have a new government in place at the helm of affairs at the national level. What is your expectation now? Sending a message now to the presidency. What are you expecting of this government? What area do you want them to intervene? And then again, how best can your association come through for the masses that still depend on bread for their daily survival? And what step is your association taking to lessen the effect of this price increase on both the producers and the consumers?
Well, as businesses, we call on the federal government, to a government that is just a month plus old in office, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are hoping he's going to constitute his cabinet very soon, and then we are going to be ensuring that we hold them accountable and responsible to Nigerians, because it is the key. Part of the problem in Nigeria before now is that we don't hold our government responsible. They come, they tell us what they want to do, and at the end of the day, everybody drops the ball after election. But going forward, I don't think it's going to remain like that, because all of us are shin-shaking, as we always say it, in local balance. So our prayer to the government is, look at the wheat importation levy. There's a current 30% wheat importation levy that is levied on every wheat that comes into Nigeria. The government should first of all look at that 15% wheat development levy and the 15% import duty on wheat that makes a cumulative 30%. The government should remove that 15% wheat development levy. That development levy was instituted by Jonathan's government in June 2012 as a way of ensuring that you have enough money to to research on wheat development and help the bakers. So government should draw from that money, ensure that those of us that are baking, give us some grants, give us some loan. You know, Enable's Medan, NASA was a colossal failure. You know, NASA was supposed to help people, but it didn't help at the end of the day. Therefore, Nigerians, we are assuring you that as people that have families, we have brothers, we have sisters, we have friends and relatives that are Nigerians. We will ensure that we are not going to price our product in such a way that you people can no longer afford it. But if there's any minor adjustment you see, just know that we need to do it for the exigency of the time to ensure that we remain in business. We feel for Nigerians, and we hope that better days are ahead with the new government.
All right, thank you for that, Parting Shot. There are better days ahead with this new government, and we do hope that no matter the price you guys decide to peg it at, it should be available and affordable by the poor masses. I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Emmanuel Nora, who is the president of Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria. Thank you for taking time to be a part of the show.
My pleasure as always, and let's keep hope alive, Nigerians. It will be well with this country.